Alright, so now we're going to have a look at effective sales funnel management. So what do you have to do to effectively manage your sales funnel, right? So we need to know, obviously, I'm a great believer in the adage that whatever gets measured gets done. So have a look and get to know your ratios, get to understand the number of leads that you get. How many of those leads actually come out the bottom of your sales funnel at the end of the month? Because once you know that number, if you know what your conversion ratio is, let's say you need 10 leads to come out the bottom and your closing ratio is 1 in 10. Well, then you need 100 leads in your sales funnel to get 10 to come out the bottom. So the operative word there, guys, is as soon as you can improve your number of leads that come in to the number of leads that, or the number of converted sales that come out the bottom, if you can just increase that by 10%, imagine how you'll grow your sales. So you've got to know those numbers. So leads in, converted sales out the bottom. What is that ratio? Next thing you want to have a look is you want to look at your conversion ratio, right? Because remember, leads are not necessarily always a perfect fit. In other words, they are not always, just because it's a lead doesn't mean it's part of your tribe. So you need to also know from the leads that come in, how many of those leads generally, or how many do you disqualify and how many do you qualify? Because that's also going to speak to how many customers do you need to research. And once you understand these sort of numbers, ultimately what you land up doing is you don't land up selling, but you land up, you know exactly right in the beginning, if I have so many leads, I will have so many sales at the bottom. And once you understand those crucial ratios, you don't need to worry about what's going to come out. You need to rather just say, how much am I going to put in at the top? Because if I put sufficient leads in at the top, enough closed or converted sales are going to come out at the bottom. Next, we need to look at the acceptance of value offers and how this converts into sales, right? So once you've delivered a proposal, remember, let's just rewind. So it's leads. Of those leads, we've got to disqualify some because not all of them are going to be part of our tribe. Once we've disqualified those, we're left with a number of perfect leads that are part of our tribe. We then arrange meetings. We deliver proposals. Of the proposals we deliver, how many of those proposals convert into sales? We need to know that, because once we know that number, all we need to do is make sure that we deliver, let's say we need 10 to come out the bottom, and if we deliver 20 proposals, 10 come out the bottom. Well, guess what we need to do? Deliver 20 proposals every single month. Next, we need to have a look at our conversion rate of those proposals into closed sales, right? So of the proposals that we've delivered, how many of those are going to convert into sales? Next, we want to have a look at the size of the average deal, right? Because it's no good closing 50 clients a month that offer you 2,000 Rand when you need 50 clients at 10,000 Rand. So you need to have a look. Very important to understand. You need to have those couple of big, hairy, audacious customers. You know, those really intimidating customers that almost feel too big to go after. You need some B customers which are slightly smaller, and then you need your C's. Your C customers are, you know, those run-of-the-mill guys that are pretty easy to close, but they just add consistent value to your sales. In other words, they consistently give you the kind of turnover that you need to achieve your sales, right? The next you want to have a look at is the average sales cycle, right? So if a sale takes 2 years to close, my word, well, you got to think about that. If a sale's going to take 2 years to close, what have I got to fill? How have I got to fill my funnel to make sure that if my sales cycle is as long as 2 years, that enough sales are actually coming out at the bottom? Ultimately, the shorter you can make your sales cycle, obviously, the better for you. And then finally, you want to look at your win rate or your closing ratio. So you've got to know from leads that come in through to disqualifying or qualifying leads, through to meetings held, through to proposals delivered, through to customers that have been gauged and evaluated through to final converted customers. What is that ratio? Because once you can understand all of these ratios and you can find a way to optimize and improve those ratios, closing sales is not simple, but it becomes so much easier to understand the starting point so that you land up with the right amount of customers coming out the bottom.